the last 30 minutes, what I want to do is I want to cover my PowerPoint slide. See, I'm serious when I put a PowerPoint slide together. Then, I'm really serious about what I'm going to talk about. Because this could be a video, right? This could be so keys to getting started right. So I want to go over this and, why are you staring at someone's butt? You're staring at it because this person is in the starting blocks and you got to get started right. So those of you that ever ran track, you know that sometimes you win or lose a race by how you get out of the starting blocks. Okay. Do you get out fast or do you get out slow? Okay. And I think this is really typically a function of how bad you want the thing that you want. Okay. People that get out the gate fast typically are the ones that really become successful. It's kind of like, what do we call it? There was a saying that we had, winners win early is the saying that we have. Winners win early, right? They don't do a lot of him and hawing about, kind of wringing their hands with everything they got to learn. They just go out there and do it. Fire, ready, aim is what we call them. So what I'm going to do especially for those of you that are brand new, I really want you to understand the mentality that it's going to take to be successful with us. And it is really a concept that is simple. Okay, I want to make sure that we stress the simplicity of it. And if you really kind of fall within these categories of the things that you need to do to become successful, then I believe that you can be successful. Within each category are a number of things that you do within it, but I really want to keep it simple at the top level so that you start thinking right about what you're supposed to do to make this business work for you. Okay, and I've been doing this a long time, right? I hate saying that. It's like, I'm the sage, wise one, the Gandalf, right, of this thing. But experience teaches you a lot, particularly my experience. And wisdom is learning from someone else's experience, right? But you know what? The reality too is you're going to have to learn how to overcome the challenges in your life because this business comes with challenges and you're going to have to deal with the ones that are very specific to you and your situation. I totally get it. Totally understand that. Right. But if you kind of follow these concepts, then I think you'll be getting out of the gate right and getting your mentality right to make it as smooth a transition as possible. It'll still be rough in a few areas, but do you want to make it harder on yourself? Do you want to make it easier? No, I choose make it easier. This is the easiest path to becoming successful with us. Let's start with the first concept. Okay. Being a good listener. Okay. So let's define that. What does it mean, Alex, to be a good listener? It means that you listen to people that are where in life you want to be, that are already successful. And when you hear the things that they are doing, you do the things that they're recommending, right? Because listening to do it is different than listening just to be educated, right? We're not trying to make you smarter in how to be successful. We're trying to help you become successful, which means that the things you hear and listen of the top people that are making recommendations, that you actually implement it into action. And it's not just implement it the way you think it should be done. It's implementing it the way they intend for it to be done. See, there's two different things. There's your perception of what you heard, then there's the reality of what you should be doing. And when you can meld your perception of what you heard to be done with what they're actually doing, that's when you hit success. But the difference, that gap between the two, is what you're always trying to fight. Okay, and there are very specific things you need to do to bring those two things together. Okay, so part of listening is seeking to understand, but seeking to understand what they're doing, the mechanics, and then seeking to understand what is their thought process in doing what they're doing. What are they thinking about when they're doing what they're doing? Like, so for example, Pablo, when he does his intake meeting and he sets himself up for the next call, has very specific gates that he walks through. Kyle Williams, exactly the same way. He does similar things, not exactly the same, but he walks the client through different gates to get them to move and create urgency, right? You start leaving out those gates, you're not going to create urgency, which means you're not going to create another appointment. And if you do create another appointment, It's not a closing appointment. It's just going to be an information appointment. See, it's all in the setup. Like, what kind of appointment are you setting up for the next one? Is it just going to be another information appointment to think about it? Or is it a move them ahead down the road? And did you define the road that they're supposed to walk down where there's going to be business happening? There's something that they're going to do because they need something different in their retirement planning. Are you setting up the call for action, or are you setting up the call just to give them information? Or you setting up the next call just to be nice and just be a friend? Hey, so how are the kids? How are everything going? Oh, that's so awesome. Next meeting, we're just going to, check in, see where you're at. Oh, how are the kids? How are things going? No, that's not how it works. Okay. So there's a purpose for everything that we do. So my question for you, are you really listening? Because if you're really listening and implementing, then you would get the results. But if you're not getting the results, then we need to figure out what you're listening to and where it diverges in terms of what reality is for the people that are doing it, right? Now, so many things to talk about here. But the only way, not the only way, but one of the most effective ways is being around the people to listen to them, being on our Zoom calls. It concerns me when people are not on our Zoom calls, because they then presume that they probably don't think they need the Zoom calls. They don't need our training, right? And so I would really question that premise, because if you already knew what you're doing, then how come you're not on the leaderboard turning in 10 apps in a week if you already know what you're doing, right? To me, if you're not on the leaderboard, then you don't know what you're doing, then you should be on this call, which you guys are on this call. So I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people not on this call. I guess there are other things more important, like binging on Netflix or, checking Facebook. Now look, there are legitimate reasons. Maybe people have, maybe they have sick kids in the hospital, right? Look, come on, cut me slack there. I'm not saying that not to do what you ought to be doing in taking care of your family, blah, blah, blah. Let's just kind of move that to the side. Let's take that off the table, because those are the excuses people come up with all the time that are just, come on, those are nonsensical excuses, because you and I know that I don't hold you to that. But what I do hold you to is, what is more important? Is your goal, trying to accomplish something in our business, more important? If it is, then you should give weight to these meetings, right? Being a good listener, coming to learn something, right? Look, if you're offended, sorry, didn't mean to offend you. But I'm not apologizing to try to get this message to your head, because I want you to become successful. Remember, I don't make a dime until you make a dollar. So why would I ever hurt you? Why would your upline ever say anything that would hurt you? We would never say anything that would hurt you. Remember that part? We don't make a dime until you make a dollar. How fast do you think we want you to make money? Right? Probably faster than you do. Okay. So being a good listener is key. So it's funny how when people say, okay, Alex, I'm going to be a good listener. Awesome. Okay, so when I make a recommendation that you need to be at this hotspot meeting, or you need to be at our next event, I'm ready to handle your excuses. So give me all the excuses why you can't go, right? And I can give you all kinds of reasons that it's important for you to get around it, and I'll show you ways, or I'll help you with ways to get around those excuses. But excuses are like anything. Your excuses are the lie that you tell yourself the lie you tell yourself that it's okay not to do what you ought to do. Okay, that's what an excuse is. And now, versus reasons that are valid, okay, and I'm not going to debate that here. Okay, well, we already talked about that. But come on, let's be real. If this career is important to you, then there are certain things that you should give weight to, that should prioritize your time. Okay. So when I make suggestions, these are suggestions for you to become successful, right? Now, look, if you can't make this event, I could always say, because I know what you're going to say. It's like, well, I'll make the next event. Okay, I'll hold you to that. But here's my question for you, is that when we go to Stage to Success this weekend, they're going to offer discount tickets for the next event, family reunion, coming up 3 months from now, right? And there's a date, right, for family reunion.
So, yes.
So if you go on the ARC website, you can see all the dates to all the events, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just going to announce the location this weekend. So you're going to see an email blast or on Slack, hey, discount tickets. Okay, so my question for you is, are you going to listen to that? Are you going to get your discount ticket so you don't have to wait until the very, very, very end? Okay, we'll see. We'll see if you listen. Okay. Again, I'm trying to hold you accountable to our system, and it either all works or it doesn't work. Either all matters, nothing matters. Well, for people that are successful, it all matters. Okay, so being good listeners is key. Here's another point of being a good listener. We make a recommendation to read books. Do you have a book that you're reading that's come on a recommended book list? Okay, here's another one. Um, uh, do you want to make money sooner than later? That's an easy question, right, for everyone. Do you want to make money sooner than later? Okay, it's just an either or answer. Well, Alex, I want to make money sooner. Okay, are you serious about wanting to make money sooner? Like, how much do you want to make? Well, I want to make 2,000 a week. Okay, cool. If you don't make 2,000 a week in your first 90 days and you're only making 500 a week, are you going to quit? Well, I mean, if I'm making 500 a week, I'm not going to quit. Okay. So can we just say 500 a week for now? And let's put a date on that. Like, maybe 60 days from now. Do you see what I'm doing? It's like I'm trying to manage your expectations, right? Because if you can make 500 a week, you can make 2,000 a week. Let's just get you to 500 a week. Okay. So if you want to make money sooner than later, then, let's figure out the goal. But wouldn't it be smart to make money sooner? One of the ways to make money sooner is not only in your personal production, but earning overrides on people turning in production. So Pablo is going to make an override on Darius writing that application. That's cool, isn't it? Because Pablo didn't turn in any business this week, but at least had someone in his group turn in business this week. That cool? So, I wouldn't feel as bad if I were Pablo because I had someone in my group turning in business. So that means that he's going to make money when that policy gets issued. Awesome. So if you want to make money sooner than later, I think, who do you know that we can help out? Who of your family and friends? Who are people on your chicken list? Who are people that we can help show the business plan to see if they might be a good fit with us that you can bring in? So I'm going to make this recommendation later, but who do you know? Okay. That's another listen thing. There's a lot of listen things. And all we can do is measure your listening ability by what you do, not what you say. It's not about what you say. What you do speaks so loud that I can't hear what you say. So what you say doesn't mean anything. It's what you do that means everything, right? And so we recommend being a good listener. The better you are at listening and implementing, okay, so I really mean that together, same thing, listening and implementing what you're hearing. Being a good listener, that's what it means to be a good listener, will determine how fast you get out the gate, how soon you can make money, how successful you're going to be. So my question is, are you willing to be a good listener? Because if you are, you have a shot with us, baby, and you have a shot to make it big with us if you're willing to be a good listener. What's the second thing? Oh man, Alex, this is a four-letter word called work, W-O-R-K. Are you willing to work? Are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Or are you willing to just incrementally figure out what the work is? Like there's two different ways of work mentality. One is, what little can I do? And then let's see what results that gets me. Or you can do it the way I did is, what's the most I can do? And then I can evaluate, if I'm doing everything I can do to get the results. I'd rather go from what's the most I can do than what's the least, because what's the least is dipping your toe in the water, but you're never going to give yourself a shot because you don't know how anything you're doing is going to get you results. I'd rather do maximum results. If they said, Alice, you got to make $1,000 a week, I'll do $1,000 a week. I'll do 2,000, whatever it takes. I was always a whatever it takes mentality. When I look at some of the dial counts that y'all are making, and you tell me you're full time or even part time, it's like, okay, you only made like 25 dials. Okay, that's about 45 minutes of work. Okay, doesn't sound like you really are working. Again, going back to the employee mentality, it doesn't inspire me, at all. But when you're making the dials, man, I get fired up, and that should inspire you. Are you willing to work? Are you willing to work and doing everything that you can do? If you are, then we got a program for you. Like when we tell you that, a work schedule, are you going to work that work schedule? When it's time to dial, are you dialing? When it's time to run appointments, are you running appointments? If you didn't book any appointments, then are you getting coaching? Right? Work involves getting coaching, putting your schedule to work, having a schedule, putting the schedule to work, dialing and pounding the phone. The first thing an agent needs to learn how to do is pound the phone and learn to grow calluses, right? There are other ways to say that analogy. Grow a pair. That's another way to say it. Or zip your pants in the front if you're a man. There's other ways to say it. Put your big girl pants on or big boy pants on. That's another way to say it. Lots of ways to say it. But grinding. You got to learn to grind. If you don't ever learn to grind, you'll never become successful because success comes from grinding. And then you'll learn how to be efficient later. But come at it with whatever I need to do, I will do. Work ethic, right? And this is where we get into the fear thing. Just like, I gave you tools to handle the fear thing. Let's implement those tools so you can get to working. Okay. Are you willing to work? Are you willing to grind? Okay. Are you willing to grind but get coaching at the same time? When you make 3 contacts and you did book an appointment, then get coaching, right? Are you plugging into the Leventovich Zoom calls on Mondays and Thursdays to hear how people are dialing the phone, right? They do that from like 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mondays and Thursdays on their Zoom call. And it's on the training website where you can plug in, listen to people make dials and get inspired by that, right? So are you willing to work? Are you willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen for you? If you are, we'll give you the game plan. If you're willing to work the game plan, we'll give you the game plan. The game plan is very simple, but we do have a game plan. So are you willing to put the work in that you need to do to make your dreams come true, to make your goals happen? Okay. If you are, then we got a program for you. The third one, are you willing to associate with people that are where in life you want to be? Willing to get around the people? I talked about this earlier. Are you willing to go to the hotspot meetings? Are you really coming to the 4 events we have per year to get around people that are making money, right? You cannot learn how to be successful by sitting in your mother's basement eating Cheetos and surfing the internet. Okay. I just have this Seth Rogen, like I just imagine Seth Rogen being that guy in his underwear, his mom's basement. Okay, are you willing to get around the people that are where in life you want to be? Because power of duplication, the power of modeling is getting around the people that are successful. That's why I'm fired up by the people coming to the event this weekend, is they're going to get around all these very, very successful people that we can get you in front of them. We can get you to where you're asking questions. This is where, if you're going to associate, always have questions ready. Like Ken Kremsner, we did a call and he goes, how can I get the most out of this event? Come with questions that you need answered. Your brain will be receptive to answering those questions, and then get around me and I'll point you to the people that you need to get around, get those questions answered. All right. Okay. Plus we have we have 1 meal table and we have 2 meals, the lunch meal and evening meal for Saturday. And we have some special speakers. And because we only have 1 table, we're going to pre-assign people coming to the event to those tables. They're typically going to be newer people. Okay, so if you don't, we will let you know. Okay, so we're not asking for signups. If you don't hear from us, then chances are that's your opportunity to get around, sit with other producers that are killing it. I would recommend you doing that. Okay, for those of you who are brand new, we're going to get you on these specific tables. Okay, and we'll let you know that, within the next day or two. Okay, but associate. In Proverbs, basically, there's so many proverbs. If you hang around fools, you're going to be a fool. Okay. You hang around wise people, you're going to be wise. I mean, it's just all over the Bible, right? Getting around the right people. It's the power of association. By getting around the right people, you're going to start thinking the way they're thinking. You're going to start making decisions the way that they make decisions. You're going to start getting to investment mentality mode because all these successful people are in mega investment return mentality, business owner mentality. Okay. Power of association. It's priceless, the stuff that you'll learn. Only if you're willing to be a good listener and willing to work to implement everything you're learning by association, that's how it all happens. You see how this fits together? The final one is you got to be willing to change, man. You got to be willing to be open to change. Changing your circumstance means changing how you think, how you feel about things, and then what that affects your actions and affects results. The hardest thing, though, is to be open to change. Changing means getting out of your comfort zone and doing something you're not used to doing, something that you're scared of doing, something that you don't already know how to do, and be willing to learn it and to do it, even though fear is there, getting past the fear and being open to change. Anything that's worth doing towards your dreams and goals is worth changing for. You got to change the way you think, which means you got to change the way that you act. That comes from changing your emotions about how you think, which means changing your belief system. And changing your belief system is one of the hardest things you can do, but it's the only way that you can get what you want out of in your life. Because think about where you are today. Are you in the exact financial situation that you're in from a year ago? Are you in the same relationship situation with the people that you love as you were a year ago? Are you the same spiritual situation as you were a year ago? If you're in the same place, then you have not grown. You have not changed anything that you're doing. You've not gotten out your comfort zone. And even if you didn't sustain it long enough for it to make a change in results and a change in your life, right? What we're talking about is changing your life. And it's so easy to fall into habits that keep you where you're at. Change involves getting out of your comfort zone, changing your habits so you can move at a higher level, and your trajectory of what you're going to accomplish totally changes into a higher trajectory. It's the only way you can do it. And you have to be open to it. You got to be willing to get out of your comfort zone, control the fear, get past it anyway, change. It's a powerful thing if you're willing to embrace it, right? And not settle for. Don't get into the settle for mentality because your dreams and goals are worthy. It's worthy of that change. It's worthy of fighting for. Okay. It's worthy of experiencing the journey to get there. Okay. Listen, work, associate, and change. You're willing to do those four things. Are you willing to listen? Are you willing to work? Are you willing to associate? Are you willing to change? If you're willing to do those four things, you have the proper mentality to be successful with us. And underneath all those four things are things that the 8 steps to success, right? And, that's for another day. That's a book that we recommend that you read. Again, are you willing to listen to get that book? You should. Okay, you should get that book because that'll help you change things in the right direction for you. And those of you coming to the event, you're going to be able to buy that book right there. And there's a whole bunch of books in the bookstore that you can pick up to bring with you home. There's so many fantastic opportunities by coming out to the headquarters of the Alliance because you're going to see all the swag that you can buy, the t-shirts and the 3/4 zips and all the things. And then you get a chance to meet the carriers. You need to meet the carriers. All the carriers are going to support you in your business. So you're willing to change. All right. Let's finish up with this next part. These are the 3 things, action steps that, this whole idea of listen, work, associate, and change. These are things to get started. So the first thing is you got to get your license. If you're not licensed with us, you got to get it fast. You can get it within 2 weeks. And I think we do have a monetary incentive, right, Mary? There's incentive to do it quick.
Yes, there is.
What is the incentive?
If they can pass the test and the class within 2 weeks, they get an additional 5% commission increase right away.
Yep. So that's a 5% bump. It's not a 5% bump. It's a 5% increase in your commission. If you're at 55, you just divide 5% from 50 to get the different percentage. That's like almost a 10% increase in commission, right? Because
No, they go from 55 to 60%.
I understand that, but I'm talking percentage change. It's not a 5% percentage change. It's a 5% change in commission from 55, 60, but a 5% difference is not a 5% change in commission. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's the percentage change is different. Like a 10% change at a 55 level would be 10% of 55, 5.5%. So you would add 5.5% to 55, which would be 60.5%. So like I said, it's almost a 10% increase. Like when's the last time that you got, let's just say it's a 8.5% increase, okay, for just sake of argument. When's the last time you got an 8.5% increase in your job? You don't even get a cost of living that high. Like anyone? Get an 8.5% increase in your job, but you get one by passing the exam, getting your license in 2 weeks. I think that's worth it, right? But so you first got to get your license. I would say get the pain over with quickly because it's a multiple choice exam, right? A multiple choice exam is an answer recognition. It's the lowest form of learning. And like I mentioned to someone today, just learn it enough to pass the exam. And so multiple choice exam, you've got 4 answers. 2 answers are clearly wrong. 2 answers are very similar. You have to be able to recognize the correct answer from those 2 similar answers. That's sort of the game that's played. And then I think, Mary, you have a video on how to best study to pass your exam, right? So I think they watch that, don't they?
Actually, I have to set up a new one because the one that we had was for ExamFX, but I can definitely do a new one because the new one for Excel solutions, you can easily, when I got my health license, I got that done in 1 week and I breezed through it without much studying. I just had to focus on certain sections. So I'll be happy to create another video for that if you wish.
I thought we did one on Excel.
I can double check with Zoe, but I don't believe so. I believe that was for ExamFX.
Okay. Well, I remember thinking about it anyway.
I could be wrong.
Anyway. Yeah, anyway, there's ways to pass it quickly. All right. So you got to get your license. Get it quick, get it done quick. Don't be like some of these people that go through the class in 3 months and then you totally forgot what you studied month number 1. Right. Then you got to go back to month number 1 before you take the exam. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, get it done quickly, right? Devote a couple hours per night, you get it done in a week. Anyway, just my suggestion. What do I know? Okay, the next one is list. Okay, I'm going to reiterate again. Do you want to make money sooner than later? If you want to make money sooner, then who do you know that we can help out? Who do you know? And, I'm going to start getting Mary involved in making dials on people's lists. And we do have an automated way to do it. Like, for example, if you did one of these applications on your phone that dump out all your contacts, like 1,000 contacts, and then you can go through that and pick the ones we can set up an email blast that drips out to all these people that tell them that, we're looking to hire. Are you open-minded? Okay, so we've got a way to do that through our CRM. Okay, now if you're game on doing that, I'm game to help you, right? But who do you know that we can help out? We're going to put them in your team and we're going to train them. You don't got to train them. We're going to do everything we can to help you build your team. And wouldn't that be cool where you're making $500 a week on overrides and then you are making another $1,500 a week on your own personal production. So you're already at 6-figure income, 25% of which is in overrides. To me, that's a cool combination. What's even better is you're making 1,000 a week in overrides and 1,000 on personal production, which means you got more time to recruit more people, right? When you're making six figures, half of it is in overrides, half of it is in personal production. I mean, come on, anyone can do 1,000 a week in personal production in like 10 hours a week. 10, maybe 15 hours a week. And then you got time with your family and time to recruit because you got 1,000 a week in overrides coming in, right? You got 10 agents doing anything, then you got 1,000 a week. I mean, it's just simple math, but it makes sense. And to my first two people that I brought into the business, I've made 8 figures of overrides on the last 25 years. How many of y'all make 8 figures in overrides in your last 25 years? Anybody? Okay. I don't mean to be sarcastic, but I do mean that had I not talked to those two agents in my warm market, I wouldn't have made 8 million. I mean, 8 figures. We're talking, 8 figures of overrides. Like, understand what that means. It's a lot of money. Okay. You don't know who on your list is looking. I got people that it's like, well, Alex, I'm just afraid what my friends will think of me. They find out in the insurance. Like, dude, aren't you not proud of being in a business that you can help other people with life insurance? Aren't you proud that you're representing companies like Transamerica Mutual of Omaha? Aren't you proud of that? Aren't you proud to be in a noble profession that we are help people in their biggest time of grief, that they don't have to come up with the money to bury their loved ones? Aren't you proud of the fact that you can sell them a policy that will guarantee them lifetime income tax-free? Aren't you proud to be in a business like that? It's like, man, we need to fix your brain because you're not thinking right about your business. You should be proud of what you're doing. And by the way, why worry about what other people think? Because number one, they don't really think about you as much as you think they think about you. The only time they think about you is when they get your Christmas card. Otherwise, they're not thinking about you. Even your own family, they're not thinking about you. And in the end, what does it matter what they think? So don't overinflate your ego, thinking that people think about you all the time. Number one, they don't. So why should you care? When's the last time you thought about all your committee of they people that you're trying to please, right? Why please them? They're not worthy of you trying to please them. The only people you should be concerned about is your family that you're supporting, right? That's the people that you should be interested in respecting you, like having your children respect you because you're going out there after a dream, right? So the committee of they, right? SNIUP. People quit because they're susceptible to the negative influence of other people. Don't be careful who you're getting your information from, man. Because you got people that will be negative no matter what. Negative Nellies. They'll put you down because you're insurance. You're in insurance. You'll never make it in insurance. They're going to be those people that put all kinds of crap in your head. Get away from them. Don't listen to them. But that person is like my brother. Get away from your brother. Like anyone who's trying to hinder you from chasing a dream and goal of what you're trying to accomplish financially for your family, get away from them quick. Because they're not supporting you, then get away from them, right? Get away from negative news, negative radio. You don't need to be getting the negative influences, right? Don't worry about what people think. You're giving people an opportunity. Do you think those two agents, Mike and Noel and Patrick and Suzanne Connors, are sad that I got them into the business? Do you think they're embarrassed about making, 7 figures of income over the past 25 years? Do you think that they're, worried about what their friends think? No. They got in with me because they saw an opportunity and they went for it and they didn't quit, right? So my question is, who do you want to bless with this opportunity? Because this opportunity is truly a blessing. And I can call them on your behalf. Mary can call me on your behalf. You don't have to reach out to them. Now, those people that you want to reach out to, you just tell them, look, hey, I got a friend of mine. He owns a financial services company in Dayton, Ohio, and he's looking to, bring people on in Tyler, Texas. I thought about you. We were talking about who I knew in Tyler, and I mentioned your name. I thought you're pretty sharp, and maybe you might be open. Are you open to doing an interview? Are you looking at, maybe do something on the side to create some additional income? Yes, no, maybe so, whatever. It doesn't matter what they say. It only matters if they say, yeah, I'm interested. Boom. get my interview link, put them on my calendar, right? It's super simple, super easy. You don't got to do much. For sure, you don't have to train them. Okay. But the list of names, I think, is an important aspect to this business. Oh, but Alex, I want to wait until I'm successful first. You know, people have said that to me that ended up quitting. Like, for example, what if the people you bring on are more successful than you? Thank God. I want to find people more successful than me. I don't have to be the be all end all. I just have to find the people that want to be better than me. I hope they're better than me. Does that make sense? I want them to be better than me. So don't have this ego thing. Remember, all these things that are conjure up in your head are fear that is based on ego, right? Anyway, I don't know how much I can convince you to use us, let us work for you. You know, the work is free. We're not charging you a thing, but we're going to help you build your business, and we're going to do it properly. And look, they're not just, I don't care. I just want to find the people that are. The only way that you know that they are is if you ask them. Like, I think, thank the Lord God in heaven that Andy Albright didn't prejudge me. Alex is so sharp, there's no way he'd say yes to this. Or Alex is such a loser, there's no ways he'd say yes to this. Thank God he didn't prejudge me. He just said, hey, Bo, I think I got a way that we can make some money. I go, sounds good to me. What is it, Andy? Tell me what it is. People make a lot of money doing that. He goes, you have no idea. It's like, all right, I'm in. Simple. You know, he didn't know that 2 weeks before I was on my knees praying to the Lord, please help me. Help me with something that's going to make a difference in my life because I need something bad. So, list. Everyone brand new. It's so much easier when you're brand new because you don't have any track record. So if your friends call you, hey, I got this call from this guy named Alex, you know, how are you doing in that thing? Oh man, I just got started, but the organization's awesome. You know, Alex has done really well in the business and he's helping me. He's got this whole staff. They're just incredible. You know, look, it's either for you, it's not. You know, we just thought you might be sharp enough that he'd be willing to interview you. And so that's why I gave him your name. That's all you got to say. It's not a big deal. It doesn't matter if they say yes or no. It doesn't really matter. It's like asking someone, do you want ketchup with your hot dog or mustard? If they only want ketchup, right, are you going to go jump off a bridge because they rejected mustard? No, that's all you're doing when you're turning over lists of names for us to contact them or for you to just reach out to them, see if they want to get on my calendar for an interview. Excuse me. Oh, it's very simple for me. Thank the Lord I did it myself because I was able to be where I'm at. The last thing here on the agenda is conference. So important for you to make the 4 major conferences a year. You know, and it's I always get this, Alex, I need to make money first before I go to a conference. Like, dude, you're never going to make money unless you go to a conference. It's like chicken and the egg, right? It's like chicken and the egg. You know, well, then if you don't have the money, sell insurance. Let's sell insurance so you can make the money to go to a conference. Let's sell to your warm market. Let's figure out how to get into your warm market to get warm market sales so you can have the money to put towards the conference. But it's so vitally important. That's why I said from the beginning, are you going to listen when you make these recommendations? So the next one's going to be 90 days from this weekend, roughly. Okay. We'll get you all the dates and everything. We're going to let you know about it, where it's going to be, and the discount tickets this weekend. Get ready for an email blast because you're going to hear it. There's going to be a barcode. Recommend get it early. Get it now. Put it on a credit card. Okay, put it on a credit card. You put a lot of crazy ass crap on a credit card. Let me tell you, just look at your Amazon card and if I saw what you shop for in the last 12 months, it's like clearly this person really doesn't want to make a financial future for themselves because they're buying all this crap. You know, why don't you spend a couple $100 on a pre-sale ticket so you can invest in your future? You know what I'm saying? Okay. But conference, you need to get to your next conference or the next hotspot meeting. Like go on the arc and find where the closest and the next hotspot meeting is for you to attend. You need to get to that. You need to get around the people in the alliance ASAP right away. You need to get that association. You need to get around the people making the right decisions. All right. Ready, set, go. Let's get this party started, gang. Let's get this thing moving. If you really want to get started right, it's get started now, not get started later, not wait a week to everything, all the ducks are in a row. Like all the ducks will never totally be in a row. You can't wait until you feel like you're ready to get going. You cannot wait until you'll never feel ready. You'll never feel not nervous, right? You'll never feel totally confident because you're doing something uncomfortable, getting out your comfort zone. Don't wait. Do it now. Get started now. Get your list to me now. Start reaching people now. Start doing more market sales now. Do it now. You can't afford to wait. Your dreams and goals are too important for you to wait for it to make it happen. Now, some of you are kind of in waiting mode because you're waiting for your license to come in, or you're waiting for the carriers to contract you. There are still things you can do, like put a list of names together. Let's go recruit some people for you, right? Let's go get that ticket. Let's go to a hotspot meeting. Let's go to the event. You don't have to be licensed even to go to an event. You don't have to be licensed to go to a hotspot meeting, right? It doesn't matter. Just let's go. Let's get this thing started. Don't wait. Don't wait. Your dreams are too important because the longer you wait, the longer you will wait. Does that make sense? The longer you wait, the longer you will wait. You're willing to delay. That means procrastinate. That's what that means. The longer you procrastinate, the longer at which you procrastinate will continue to make that procrastination muscle get stronger. You don't want that. All right. So I know I went way past. And anyway, hope it made sense to you. I'm serious. My whole mode is let's get you making money. Let's get you started right away. And let's enjoy the journey along the way because it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun you getting out of your comfort zone and you making little incremental leaps beyond what you feel comfortable. That's the most fun is watching you grow, right? Family reunion, July 17th to July 20th. So put that in your calendar now. July 17th to July 20th. Right, rock on, gang. God bless. Thank you, everybody, for being on this call. And let's get on the leaderboard. Let's sell to your family and friends. Let's get on the leaderboard, man. God bless. By the way, since we're going to be at the event, no Thursday, Friday calls. Well, the probably Friday activity call, probably not. No Thursday call. So we'll resume the avian calls on Monday next week. Tomorrow, I'm not sure we're doing. Is Kyle? I don't know who's on here. I don't know if Kyle's going to be able to do the meeting tomorrow. I know Pablo cannot. Well, we'll get an email for the retirement planning call at 11 a.m. We'll see if I'll send out an email to let you know whether or not that's going to happen. All right. So, man, thanks, everybody. God bless. We'll see you later. Take care.